Most of our monitors use the Rocky Bottom protocol, but for slow-moving streams east of the 95 corridor, you may need to use the Muddy Bottom protocol. When using the Muddy Bottom protocol, you're going to start by identifying 4 habitat types that could be present. The first is woody snags, which is when there are downed trees and limbs in the water. The second is stream banks, which is when there's a steep area of soil and vegetation beside the stream. The third is submerged aquatic vegetation, where there are plants growing up from the bottom of the stream. The fourth is riffle areas, where there is water flowing over cobble-sized rocks. If you have 4 or more riffles within a 100-meter stretch, use the Rocky Bottom protocol instead. Now determine approximately what percentage of your site each habitat type makes up. For example, this section is about 35% woody snags, 40% stream banks, 20% riffles, and 5% submerged aquatic vegetation. For this protocol, you're going to collect your sample by taking 20 jabs with your D-frame net. You'll want to divide up those jabs among the habitat types proportionally to how much of the site they make up. So here we would take 7 jabs in woody snags, 8 jabs along stream banks, 4 jabs in riffle areas, and 1 jab in submerged aquatic vegetation. A jab consists of aggressively thrusting your net into the habitat for about 1 meter and then sweeping the same area 2 or 3 times to collect any dislodged bugs. When taking your jab, make sure to face upstream so the water and debris flow into the net. In woody snags, jab into medium-sized debris, and for larger debris, scrape your net along the surface 1 meter. For small debris, you can also pick it up and rub it into the net. For stream banks, jab at the bottom and draw the net up to the top of the bank. For aquatic vegetation, if the vegetation is completely submerged, draw the net through the vegetation from bottom to the surface of the water. If the water is shallow and the vegetation comes above the surface, bump the net along the bottom. For riffles, firmly place the net on the bottom of the stream and rub around in the rocks with your hand. After each jab, dump your sample into a partially submerged sieve bucket by either banging or inverting the net and swishing it through the water inside the bucket. Make sure to check your net thoroughly for any remaining bugs before taking your next jab. Once you've taken all 20 jabs, mix the sample by swishing the bucket around in shallow water. Next, empty the bucket onto a tablecloth on your table. Make sure to get all bugs from the bucket. Spread the sample evenly across your surface and then divide it into 4 equally sized quadrants with a stick. Randomly select a quadrant to start picking. Use your tweezers and pipettes to pick all bugs from this first quadrant and place them in an ice cube tray filled with stream water. If you've counted at least 100 organisms, not including scuds, you're finished. If you haven't reached 100 non-scud organisms, fully pick another grid. Continue this process until you've reached 100 non-scuds or have fully picked all 4 grids.